Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Feather and Fur. Tonight, we are coming to you live from Grouse Camp. We are coming in from the beautiful Upper Peninsula, Michigan, at the Two River Resort. Got to give a big shout out to Jen and Tim. Like, awesome accommodations. The cabins are great. Like, if you like a rustic cabin that really, like, you get all the amenities that you need. Like, we have a shower, we got 2 beds, but you get the wood feel behind you. As you can see, like, they're rustic cabins, and it's awesome. Like, it's the true up north feel.
It is. It's great.
And we're in the hunting cabin, so we're surrounded by artwork. Like, you got, like, right when you walk in, like, I posted a reel yesterday. I don't know who watched it or didn't watch it, which I hope you're watching my stuff if you're listening to my show.
I watched it.
I appreciate that, man.
It was good. I liked it.
I really appreciate that. You walk into the cabin, there's a big set of moose antlers. Big set of moose antlers. It's great. So huge shout out to the Two Rivers. It's great. I'll toss the link in here if anybody's interested in coming up. But this is the first episode ever for Feather and Fur live.
We're going live.
We are live.
We're doing it.
And it's total after hours. I mean, I got the chocolate lab porter. We brought Mr. Bandit to Grouse Camp. As you know, like, my lab passed away a few years back, so he comes every year to Grouse Camp in the form of a delicious beer.
We miss Bandit.
Bandit was a rock star.
Bandit was a good dude. He was one of the best, man. He's the OG of Grouse Camp. We got one more OG passed out on the bed over there. She done.
Mine's passed out on the bed too. I mean, Ember's, this is her 13th year.
She was with us from the start. That's the whole reason that we started doing this is, you know, I was into grouse hunting, you were into duck hunting, and I go, hey, come up north. You show me how to duck hunt. I'll show you what I know about grouse hunting, which at the time was not a whole lot of anything, but
we just we put miles on the boots and miles on the paws, and we found birds, and we started to figure it out.
I shot the first bird the Bandit ever flushed.
You sure did. You sure did. Then he made a heck of a retrieve on one you shot over the swamp.
That was the same bird.
Was it the same bird?
It was the same bird. He flushed it. You were like, what is that? Came over towards me.
What is that?
I shot it. Bandit went over and got it out of the swamp. That was one of those years where the swamp was real wet. And
I mean, that dog could hunt dead. That dog could hunt dead.
That dog hunted dead. Like, I've never hunted with a dog that was just that was his jam. Like, he was just. I mean, Bandit, dead bird, and he was just bonkers. Like, he wouldn't stop till he found it. I mean,
nose of the grindstone.
He would find it.
I mean, even if he started to work a little bit out, you bring him back, dead bird, and he was right, like, same area, just as much enthusiasm. Like, he did not give up on a bird.
I feel bad that I shot the first bird that Bandit ever flushed, but
no, man, that's awesome.
I mean, somebody had to shoot it.
Someone had to. I probably would have shot at it and missed, and you'd look back and be like, "What's wrong with you?" I saw that look numerous times.
I actually can't believe that I shot it. To be honest with you, the way I shoot these days.
And then, as everyone is knowing, Steve's been on the podcast a couple times. We had our Grouse episode. He was on my birthday episode. But a new member to the podcast.
We got a newbie.
First year at Grouse Camp is Steve's son, Mr. Trent.
Mr. Trent. How old are you? 11 years old.
First year.
So he's up. Today was his first, not really your first romp in the woods, because we've gone down home for woodcock a little bit, but his first taste of the actual grouse camp that we've become kind of accustomed to. Every year it's the same, but it changes. Yeah. We change locations. We change what we stay in. You know, some years it's the camper, some years it's the cabin.
Mr. Armando, what is going on? He's another host. He's got the Bass Kayak and Beers, I think it is.
Nice.
Bass Kayaks. Boy, man, I should probably know the name of your show. I do. I just can't think. I mean, a couple whiskeys, couple beers. It's after hours. Like, we put, I think, last I looked, I think Pippa did 11 or 12 miles today. I mean, we hunted in the rain. We hunted in the snow. It's like 30 degrees.
We quit early today. The conditions were not favorable by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it was wet.
Everything was wet. In the morning, Morning was good. Morning was better.
Birds were still in the trees though when we got out, which is I couldn't believe that. Like I couldn't believe the birds were still roosted. We got in the woods about 9:30 Eastern time.
Yeah.
I mean, like the sun was up, it was good, but the birds were still in the tree. Like the dog's all birdie, and I'm like, what? There's nothing. And all of a sudden the bird flushes from the tree. I'm like, this ain't right. What are you still doing in the trees? Like, wake up, get moving.
Yeah, that was a bit of a. When I've seen it before, so it's not like a huge surprise. But every time I see it, I'm like, what are you doing up there yet? Like it's.
And it wasn't the weather. Like it rained yesterday. It dried out overnight. Like I figured for sure they'd be out of the trees in the morning getting their feet on before that snow came in.
The conditions were beautiful this morning.
Agreed.
Everything had dripped out of the trees. Everything was dry. We woke up this morning. The vehicles were dry. We're like, this ain't bad. And I think I jinxed it because we were walking out of that first spot, and I'm like, oh, they said it was supposed to like rain and snow today. It hasn't done that. Like, no sooner did I say that, all of a sudden a couple flurries come down, and it's like, oh. And then the
second spot. I mean, it was snowing so hard at one point. I'm like in the woods, and we were in some thick stuff. We were in a thick tag elder swamp at that point, and it was thick. That's probably the thickest Trent's ever probably been in. And you got the snow coming down, and it's almost dizzying at that point.
It
like
was.
It's vertigo-ish.
I came down to a little point, and I told Trent, I'm like, man, this is like almost motion sickness.
You got all that snow, like it's thick.
It's like driving in the snow, you know? When you're driving your car into the snow at night, and you got, you know, snow is coming down, and you're like disorienting a little bit, but
we moved birds there though.
We did.
Like, it was weird though. I mean,
we moved some birds today.
Like we've talked about woodcock hunting. I'm a big woodcock. We chase woodcock. We love it. And these were some of the goofiest woodcock I've ever hunted. Like if the guys that run woodcock know they're known to hold extremely tight. Like they don't fly. Like unless you kick them in their butt, they don't move. And these things were more spooky than grouse today.
Yeah, they were freakish for some day. I don't know why.
I don't know. Like
and in a weird area that I wouldn't think to find woodcock.
Relatively dry under pines.
I mean, it wasn't kind of on the edge of that little lake back there. So I mean, it was closer to water, but way up on the hillside and in pines, and just not where I would think to.
And the snow was coming down, so I could see him taking some cover. But I mean, we've hunted snow,
mm-hmm.
And they haven't been under pines like that before.
Yeah, very weird, really weird. Dogs couldn't get anywhere close to him.
No, like the dogs were crazy birdie, and birds were flying. I'm like. They're flushing wild. Yeah. This is weird.
A lot of old points. A lot of dogs didn't see him fly, and then they're pointing. You're like,
"Yep, go.
We gotta go. That one already went.
Find the bird."
But
man, that was weird though. Like I've never hunted woodcock that were that spooky. But then we switched spots. Then we switched spots, and we had woodcock holding ridiculously tight.
Yeah, Pip had that one at the end of the day. That one held really, really well. Of course, we all whiffed on it, but.
I will say my second shot had a nice big pine tree right in my way. Like full view pine tree.
I would make an excuse, but I don't have one.
I have no excuse on that first grouse today though. That was like I should have shot that thing. Like you don't get a more layup shot than what I had.
I should have shot all my birds that I flushed today, but I don't know if there's actually any shot in the shells that I'm currently shooting them.
Is that the problem? Did you forget to load shot in your shells?
I don't know. It says they're 6s. I don't know. I'm not buying it though. I don't know.
Maybe they're blanks. Maybe they're training rounds.
I gotta have some kind of
just some 209 primers and a pistol.
Gotta be some kind of reason why I missed those.
It's always the arrow. It's never the Indian.
That first grouse that went up today, like that was a layup. Like I should have. That should have been a dead bird for sure. But
you'll have that.
I wasn't expecting it though either.
Well, our barrels were full. Okay. We hadn't warmed up the barrels yet.
I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Cold barrels.
So I got to know though, Mr. Trent.
Yeah.
What'd you think for your first day of grouse hunting?
It was pretty good.
Just
pretty good.
Pretty good. Like, what would have made it better? A bird in your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried.
We did try. How about the dogs? What did you think of the dogs working?
They worked pretty good today.
Ember's still a rock star. She still put some miles on them paws for being 13.
She's still got some wheels on her. she's a bit slower than she paces herself, I guess, which is nice because then I get a little bit more time out of her. But
Sure.
it's what do you expect out of a 13-year-old dog? You know,
She's still hitting the ground.
She's still
I know.
doing it.
I mean, Bandit at 12, he's going to get retired. Like his hips didn't have it anymore. Still be
Yeah.
hunting at 13. That's impressive.
Yeah, and she's definitely tired now. She's done.
Oh, my dog's passed out on her bed. She doesn't even want to move. She hasn't even come over here yet to see what's going on.
They're probably both just happy they're dry now.
But I got to give your dog. I mean, for 13 years, I mean, she's been deaf. She was born deaf.
Yep.
So to hunt grouse like this, but like thinking about that right now, like we're over here doing the podcast, and she's just like, it don't matter.
No.
I can't hear a dang
Okay.
thing.
She's
Passed out.
she's dead over there.
Out.
So she's I mean, for my first bird dog, I didn't know what I was getting myself into with her. I didn't know much about training. I didn't know much about grouse hunting or pheasant hunting or anything. I didn't even really know about woodcock at that point. I remember the first time we flushed woodcock, we were both looking at each other like, the hell was that?
So everyone, if you can hear the cars in the background, just a little side note, we are right on the corner of the Northwoods or Northern Michigan or so. There's a rally race up here today.
Northern Michigan rally something, or I don't know. There's a rally race tonight.
So after this, we're actually going to go
Yeah.
check out the night stage. We're hoping to catch Ken Block, Travis Pastrana. Like there's some large
fun.
names up here. So right after this, we're going to jump in the truck and go check out the race. Pull up a little corner of the grouse woods.
Sure, right?
Watch them big spotlights come at us.
I hope so. Hopefully we get to
I think
catch the tail end of it. We
I'm
should.
hoping so. Even if we don't, that's not going to make or break grouse camp. But
No.
what'd you say earlier, Trent, about the food?
Man, the food's amazing.
Food, oh yeah. We don't
mess around.
mess around with food around here. I mean, like I said, first night, okay, frozen pizzas. I show up late. It is what it is. Beers and pizza, which is fine, but
Yeah, I mean, and I bought decent frozen pizzas.
it only gets better,
right.
from there.
I mean, this morning we started out with taters and sausage on the skillet or on the griddle.
Yep.
With some scrambled eggs. Nice big breakfast.
Courtesy of Trent.
Then dinner though, a whole venison backstrap rolled up in a pinwheel with pesto and mozzarella cheese and really good seasoning in the smoker.
That was good.
And then you had smoked potatoes for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And those are tasty.
Trent was a fan of the smoked taters.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Trent liked the venison as well. He did prefer his hot dog, but he did like the venison.
The hot dog was also smoked though.
It was
Yeah.
a nice cherry red when it
So
was
we
done.
even step up the hot dog game
We do.
around here.
Then tomorrow night's the signature dish.
Oh yeah.
Smoked brats,
Smoked brats,
bell peppers,
onion,
onion
all mashed up on the griddle.
on the griddle,
Yeah.
saute it up,
Probably do smoked potatoes again.
some butter. Oh man,
It's going to be good.
that's kind of a staple now. That's
It
become
is.
kind of a
This will be the third year in a row with that dish.
yeah. We never made that.
We didn't until we started camping.
Yeah, once we started camping, we were doing that one. That's a good one though.
And that just was random too.
There's never any leftovers.
Because I'd started smoking brats. I'm like, man, I'm going to bring these brats and we're going to smoke them. And then you had the idea, like, let's mix it with some peppers on the skillet or the griddle.
Absolutely,
Can't go wrong with that.
that was good.
Like, if you want a simple meal, we got Paddle and Fin podcast tuning into Paddle and Fin podcast saying the
Oh.
venison's delicious.
Imagine that. Venison is pretty yummy.
Venison is delicious. I'm impressed that the podcast is posting while the podcasts are playing. I mean, that's impressive. I don't know who that is.
Who's in charge of?
Well, Brian Schiller's in charge, but
Who's the top dog at the Paddle and Fin
we're
podcast?
that's Brian Schiller. He's the boss man, and he just next time you meet him, just call him boss man.
Be chill.
B Chiller. That's his.
Be chiller.
B Chiller's his Instagram. Yeah, you follow him.
I don't know.
You can just say no. It's okay. Not everybody follows Brian.
I mean, I should because I've been on a podcast with him and have I met? I don't think I've met him. in
I don't think
person.
you have.
No.
No, but if we fire up a deer camp, he's coming. He's in. He's already said it.
Ooh, well,
So then you will.
we could maybe a next year conversation.
Bring back the deer camp. Because we used to do the duck/grouse camp, which turned into grouse camp. Then we also did the deer camp.
Mhm.
We did the deer camp for many years. And that was always a good time. Like again, definitely revolved around food.
When did we start that? Because we started grouse camp, and what did we figure that was
2009.
2009.
Uh-huh.
So you must have maybe started in
10.
10.
Yeah. Because that first year I hunted with my what is now my ex-in-laws. I hunted at grandpa's
Point.
property, down Point. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you came in 10 then.
And I brought Parker with.
That wasn't for 2010, though, was it?
Maybe that was 11.
I don't know. Parker only made it once, but
That is correct. He only did make it once, but he did get a sweet knife from Mitch. He did order up a knife. I remember that.
he did.
Alligator sheath. I don't remember what wood he went with.
I don't know. I don't remember either. Do you still have that thing? You
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't see him getting rid of that. We'll have to confirm that. I hope he still has it.
Well, if he's going to get rid of it, he better sell it to one of us.
Oh, absolutely. That's got to stay in the family.
It's got something. You can't get Mitch knives anymore.
I know. I have one. It's cherished. The Gappa blade.
Yeah, speaking of which, I got. There might be a conversation for after the podcast.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I didn't tell you.
No.
Okay, I might as well tell you now. So I had that one knife from my dad
Yeah.
that had that burl handle,
Uh-huh.
whatever else. That was my deer knife, you know. So I'd put all my deer hunting stuff in the back of the car, and I would just kind of like throw stuff in the back, you know.
Did you lose it?
I did for a while, and I didn't know that I had lost it. And so I got a text from Jody Boy
Okay.
with a picture of my dad's knife, and he goes, "Is this yours? Did you lose it?" And I'm like, I didn't think that I did,
But
I obviously did. And this was in like the end of February, beginning of March.
Uh-oh. How rusty is it?
It was bad.
Like salvageable at all?
It was bad. I have the knife. I don't know what happened to the sheath.
Okay.
But all I know is that around Christmas time, I dropped a whole bunch of wrapping paper and boxes and cardboard and whatever else over at their burn pit. And when I was unloading all that stuff, the knife must have came out of the back of the car. And then he proceeded to drive it over a whole bunch with his skid loader with the bucket down.
Uh-oh.
So I still have the knife. It's
You still have yours for Mitch, though, right?
yes,
Yeah,
the
you
one that
just
I
don't have the
got.
one from your dad.
Right.
You don't have your dad's.
I still have I have the knife. Don't have the sheath.
Got it.
It's a bit rough. I mean, I could sharpen it and use it. It's not the
Sure,
blade's not
sure.
jacked up. Like the handle's a little bit, you know. But I still have the one that my dad bought me from Mitch
Sure.
when I was 12, 13, 14 maybe. I still have that one. That one's cherry. I haven't used that one in quite a few years though. But I still have that one.
So,
And I have another Mitch knife that I had made, a dagger.
oh yes.
Did I ever show you that one? The
I
dagger?
believe so. Do you have a hatchet from him too? No, you never got
No, I do have the hatchet.
You
He
do?
was in the process of building that hatchet when he passed away. And I got the hatchet from Rose, his wife,
Got it.
the year maybe after. So it's actually usable. It's not finished. Like the handle's kind of rough yet. He had the rough
Sure.
shape of the handle, but he didn't have the cap on the end of it. Like it's totally usable. But the hatchet that I ordered from him when I was 20, probably I was 20. And he was like, I got to find a blank. And then he years and years and years. Finally, he found a blank for it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I found you a blank." And then every year for deer camp, how's that hatchet going? I'm getting to it. So, of course, the year he dies, he finally starts working on it.
At least you started working on it, though.
I have it.
You have something.
Yes, I have it. I sharpened it. It works. You can cut stuff with it.
Well, that's all that matters.
So it's
Mitch was a staple at Grouse Camp. You grew up with Mitch.
I knew Mitch. I mean, as long as I can remember, I knew him.
Me and your dad went way back. Y'all
Yeah,
stayed
way
at the
back.
same resort.
Yeah, in summer we stayed at the same resort.
You fished the muskie tournament. That's in his name now. Is it in his name or is the trophy in his name?
There's a. Don't quote me on it. They don't. It's more like a sportsmanship kind of award.
Got it.
So, like, if you do something good during the tournament, like someone's boat breaks down and you tow them back to
Sure.
boat landing, you're obviously taking time out of your tournament fishing time to help somebody else. So they kind of have an award. So if you do a good deed, it doesn't have to be necessarily be for somebody else that's in the tournament.
Sure.
But,
Because he won that, didn't he? Twice?
twice.
Yeah.
He won it in 91 and 93, I think.
How'd that tournament go for you this year?
Well, the same that it's gone for me every other time that I have fished it. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
You're welcome. Great day pre-fishing. Can't put it together on tournament day?
No, we had a trash day of pre-fishing. Our pre-fishing was cut short by a bad trolling motor battery. And I said, if I'm going to replace one trolling motor, I don't even know, at that point, I didn't know what was even bad.
Sure, right. Your trolling motor just stopped.
24-volt system, so there's two batteries. So I'm like,
well, it's only as good as your weakest battery. So replacing
and
one
I'm
doesn't
like,
make sense.
I can tell I'm on 12 volt. Like, it's still got some power, but not all of it.
Sure.
So at 4:45 on a Friday in the Northwoods, I'm calling places going, do you have Group 27 trolling motor batteries? Yes, and we close at 5. Well, I'm still in the water. I can't get there by 5. So luckily I found a place in Saint Germain that took my credit card information.
Left a
and
couple batteries out back for you?
They said, come pick them up. We'll leave them outside the door with a receipt. So,
Perfect.
So that was
New batteries, get them on the truck, get them hooked up to the onboard, get them good and ready for the next day.
I did, and that was the end of our issues. But pre-fishing was not good. The first day, the first 10 minutes of the tournament were good. We had one take a swipe at my partner's bucktail at boat side, and that was as good as we were going to get right there.
And it's a day and a half tourney.
16 hours of fishing.
And you're chucking big baits.
16 hours of fishing, and we had one fish that he says was probably undersized to take a swipe at it, and that was it.
That's rough.
It was rough.
That is a
It
rough.
was.
That's a lot of. I mean, I've had slow days on the water bass fishing tourneys and out of the kayak, but I mean, you're not chucking them giant baits
And that's
all day.
And that's a good lake. I mean, I know there's a lot of fish in that lake. Like last year, we didn't connect with one, but we had follows consistently all day long, enough that it kept you going. We had four different fish that we were bouncing back and forth and trying to catch, but we can never connect on any of them. But this year, it's like, where's
the fish?
Where's everything at?
And it wasn't a weird year. I feel like temperature wise was pretty.
No, it should have been good.
Right.
It should have been really good, but I mean, the temperature was dropping really consistently through September. Like,
no super big drop offs or anything. Yeah.
it should have been good, but
Weird.
whatever. That's just my luck with that tournament. I don't know why I continue to fish it, but
Nostalgia. Good time.
is it?
Is musky fishing ever a good time?
Is it? I I don't mind. I expect to not catch stuff when I go muskie fishing, but when you have to fish on Saturday for 10 straight hours and you don't really see much.
Right.
And that one fish within the first 10 minutes, it's like we took a break at right around noon. We sat in the boat for like 5 or 10 minutes, ate cheese and sausage.
Did you order pizza on the water?
No.
See, that's where you went wrong.
I don't think the random like pizzeria delivers up Saint Germain. We've done that before.
We have. So we were night fishing on a local lake. It's known for muskie fishing, and I was hungry, so I ordered pizza from the local pizzeria. And I'm like, "Can you deliver it to the boat dock?" Wait, what? I'm like, "I'll meet you at the boat ramp. Just flash your lights when you get there." And we rolled over there, grabbed a pizza, threw the driver a big tip, and then we went out back night fishing.
Yep.
Throwing bucktails.
Remember what we caught that night?
No.
Yeah, nothing. Again.
That was our first attempt out there really trying to hit it on night, though.
Yeah. I think we tried it one other time. Just like
that was my old Alumacraft. That was a fun little boat.
Yeah.
That's a good little boat.
That's a good little boat. But at any rate, now I'm done with fishing. I put the boat away.
Trent, you got to be sad.
I didn't winterize it yet, but it's not in our possession anymore. It's over at my mother-in-law's house. And if we wanted to go fishing, if we got a nice day in October where it was warm, we could go grab it. We could go do something, but
Trent's a big man. He loves the bass.
Yeah.
He's a bass man.
What's your favorite lure right now?
Like if you had to pick one lure, like I got to catch a bass, what am I going to throw?
Hopper.
A popper.
Whoa. Are we talking? Oh, hold on. So he does a lot of wade river fishing for smallies. This guy here, wade in rivers for smallies. So is that your river bait or your lake bait? Like, I want to know your main river bait right now. Like if you were going to go out on the river, prime time, what do you throw?
Guggen Squad Hopper.
The Guggen Squad popper.
All right. What about the lake?
Probably Wacky.
Wacky.
Oh, you can't go wrong with the Wacky. What color?
Watermelon.
Watermelon, red flake in a yum
Dinger.
Yum dinger.
You gotta have the dinger. I'm a fan of the dinger.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not a fan of the dinger? I mean, there's people that are like,
it's got like that perfect sink rate.
Yamamoto's, I've never used them because I'm not paying $8 for a bag of plastic baits, but I'm sure they're good. But
I mean, I've thrown tons of different stick baits, tons of different
I've tried a bunch. Yeah,
that dinger's just got that. For me, it's got the right sink rate.
Right fall. Yeah, it's got that right fall rate. It's not too slow, but it's not too fast. It's just.
I am a little shocked though that Trent didn't say a Ned rig because I know he's a Ned rig guy.
Oh, he can slam on the river with a Ned. You give him a 10th ounce Ned head and a TRD. I don't even care what color. Or what's the other? Not the TRD. What's the other one we use? The Sakushi bug.
Yeah, that
10,000 fish Sakushi bug.
That one's a good one.
That one lights him up too.
We did some fishing this year. We caught some fish.
Yeah.
I caught some on the jig and worm. I introduced you. You got to see the jig and worm in action this year.
And you caught a rod.
I did. I caught a rod.
What'd you do with that thing?
Still in my
way?
house. Still in my house. I haven't cleaned it up or anything yet, but that was a really slow day on the water, and it was a struggle, boss.
And it was windy as hell.
And like, I kind of stumbled onto a little bit of a pattern. It was a weed edge, and they wanted it deep and slow, and like a bigger profile worked better than a smaller profile. And like we were coming back to the boat launch, and I thought I had a decent fish on it, and it turns out it's this ultra like crappie rod.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing had to have been down there for years.
It was pretty crusty.
Like barnacles.
Pretty crusty, yeah.
Barnacles. But that was a new species for me.
I can't say that I've ever done that. When we talk about a needle in a haystack,
right?
How many rods and reels are on the bottom of a lake, and then to actually snag one with? I mean, you had a Texas rigged worm on, didn't you?
I think so.
You didn't even have a hook exposed.
I mean, that's how slow I was dragging, though. I mean, they wanted that super slow. Oh yeah.
More Subarus out there.
Yeah. Hear that Boxster engine?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're getting after it.
Yeah.
I want to see the big light bars up front. Like I feel like maybe we should answer the old Ram, the built to serve.
It's yours, so yeah, I approve this. I approve it. That's fine.
Not gonna take the heap.
No. No. I mean it's beat enough as it is now, but yeah, we could take
I just love that conversation coming home after I bounced it off a tree.
enter the Jeep.
I can't wait to hear your mom on that one too. Like, my son was in the back and you bounced it off a tree?
What, when I smashed the front?
No. If we entered the Ram right now, you know I'd bought that thing up into a tree.
Well, I'm sure.
Trent's flying around the back seat.
Well, just hit it where I already smashed it into that concrete embankment.
There you go.
We're fine then.
There you go.
I mean, it's fine. But anyway,
yeah.
Tomorrow, hopefully,
we did some scouting today.
Hopefully, we get a break in the weather. Hopefully, it's not rain, sleet, snow, gross, wet, yuck. Hopefully, tomorrow it's better and we can hunt a little bit drier.
Tomorrow's supposed to be the good day.
Yeah.
Because Sunday night, everything changes up here.
Yeah.
Because it might be October, but we're talking 1 to 3 inches of snow Sunday night and 3 to 5 last I looked Monday morning.
Yeah.
So 40 inches of snow?
Yeah.
That's going to
change
change things.
Yeah. I think tomorrow's going to be the day. I think tomorrow's going to be the best of the weather days. And we did some scouting today and found some areas that we think look pretty tasty. And you don't know until you run the dog through them.
Right.
We've gone to places all the time where we're like, this looks.
We're looking at different age cuts.
Super good. And then you run the dogs through and you're like, that should have been awesome. And what
wasn't here? That's the hard part. Like, what wasn't there? Because grouse live in such a small area and they need multiple habitats in that one area.
Right.
So it's not just one necessary age growth. You need old growth. You need new growth. You need like the pollinator areas where you get a lot of bugs for the broods.
Small home range.
Right. I mean, when I was at the Rough Grouse Society camp, they're saying it's about 12 acres is what is like. They originally said like 4 to like 40, but now they're really saying like it's really roped itself down to about 12 acres. They figure.
Big.
That's a tiny area to get
all the habitat. 12 acres changes though year to year.
That I didn't have. That's
like if you start and you're like, here's your obviously you're born.
Right.
You're with your
brood,
and then in fall the brood breaks up and everybody kind of goes their separate ways and you establish your own home area. But like, how does that home area? I wonder. I don't know the answer to it, but how does it change year to year? Like for 1 year, you might live in that 12 acres, but then obviously,
as the forest ages,
change.
Right, as the forest ages, they have to rotate.
You would think like you're going to rotate from this cut's too old now. I'm going to move. I'm going to go walk over here. Like this is now my. That's I don't know. What the answer is to that one, but I can't imagine they set up shop. Episode. Yeah, I can't imagine they set up shop in 1 12-acre parcel and they're like, this comes hell or high water. This is where I'm at.
Right. They're not going to age up. If the forest starts to age out, they're going to have to move.
Right.
But still, even like if you get that right 12 acres where you have that old habitat, that new habitat, you've got the brooding areas, you've got because from what I've read, like them young birds, John from Rough Grouse Society was even on the show and he's like, those young grouse eat a lot of bugs, so they need areas where there's bugs and stuff like that. Like that is a diverse habitat in a very small area.
Yeah, I mean the grouse. I think I read one time like how many different plant species a grouse will actually consume, and like it was crazy. It was like I want to say it was like 60 or 70 different plant species that a grouse can consume. That's not even including like them out foraging and scratching and picking bugs and whatever else, like more like a chicken would kind of do. I mean, they're kind of optimistic where they'll eat bugs, they'll eat plants, they'll eat whatever. I think is plentiful for them, especially up here. I mean, it's not like they're pheasants where they can go eat picked corn, corn that fell out of the combine or grain that never made it off the field or whatever else. Like these birds up here, like they've got to survive, and like I think they're pretty well adapted to. Okay, I can eat this at this time of year. I can eat that at this.
I mean, I know like spruce eat a ton of crickets. You find it, like I know they hammer like bugs like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like in a ruffed, I've seen berries, I've seen clover, I've seen bugs.
Yeah,
when you
a lot of grainage in there. Catkins from like birch trees, acorns. I mean, they can eat a lot of stuff, but so like every time I shoot a grouse, which is embarrassingly not often.
For the amount of birds we move, we should.
I always cut the crop open because I'm like, what are these things eating?
Right. And that's why, like, I really like when possible. Like today, I'm really disappointed we didn't get one on the ground because I like to cut that crop open and confirm, like, why are they here? Like, is this a transition area we found them in? Were they moving from roost to food, or were they actually feeding?
Yeah, it's always nice to see what's in there, see what they're feeding on, and then we got a bear coming out of the
big stretch.
We've got a bear coming out of the den.
Hi. Tired dog. Miss Pippa is in the house. Oh, look at this. Another burr.
Tick or burr?
Burr.
Well, that's all right.
Yep. We hunted an area
Burrs
that was pretty grassy, and it took me a good solid 30 minutes to clean her up.
You find any ticks on her?
I did not.
She had a bunch on her. When we were in that last place, they were in that. I'm sure they were in that grass.
Yeah. Now I combed her out real good, and normally I get a lot when I comb her out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spray her down real good.
Yeah, I sprayed her pretty good. Actually, when we put her in the car, I sprayed her head because I could see 5 of them on her head, and I'm like, we'll just spray those right away.
That is the hard thing with her and her fur. It is really hard for me to see ticks on her. Like
brown dog and a tiny little brown.
See, on Bandit, I could like that short hair on Bandit. I could see him pretty easily. On her, it's hard. It's hard.
Bandit had that stiff, bristly lab hair where you can kind of go against the grain and you can make it stand up, and you can kind of see because he had real light skin underneath, and you could just kind of and see. They show up really well on her because
white dog,
white dog,
black tick, brown tick.
Yeah. So she had. I
didn't find any on me.
But I did not find any on me, but at some point before
I'll do a good tick check.
Bed, we should probably do a good tick check.
Yeah, I don't think I really have any.
No, you never know.
You gonna check yourself right now? Right on camera?
Right on camera? Yeah. We'll check. Later. I mean, I didn't find any. Usually I'll find them on my pants or my
Right. Normally I see them crawling up my like an arm or something, or crawling up my leg. It's pretty rare I actually get them where they get to the point where they actually get under my layers.
I didn't have a worm on me today though. One of those weird tree worms, those really little
green
thin
ones.
What the hell are those?
Those like silkworms, those little inchworms?
Oh yeah, they're like these little tiny.
Tiny, the green, bright green.
And it was like I could feel something on my neck, and I grabbed it, and I'm like,
so
worms.
2 weeks ago, up in the Price County area, I can't tell you the amount of snakes I encountered. I lost count.
Like out hunting?
Oh
shit.
We get out at the first spot, which is where we moved all those woodcock.
Okay.
I go walk to the corner and had a couple cups of coffee. Got to go take a bathroom break. There's a snake between my legs.
Like just little garter snakes?
Tons of garter snakes.
Yeah.
I've got video all over the campground, just cruising. Everywhere I looked, there were snakes. It was crazy. I had to see at least 10.
Snakes don't bother me too much.
No, it didn't bother me at all, but it was just weird.
I'm not a huge
the
fan
number
of
I saw.
Do you think for grouse camp where we come up where they're at that point where they're starting to kind of?
I'm thinking because it was warm. It was it was a little warmer than I would have liked. I think they were trying to get their feed bag on before they put her to bed for the winter.
That could be.
You figure, I'm not a snake expert. You got to figure they got to put their feed bag on.
I'd buy into that.
Get a good big mouse before they put her down for the winter. Even though I don't think a garden snake's eating a mouse, but maybe.
I would think so. What
I
else
guess-
do you think they eat?
I don't know. Voles? Moles?
Voles?
You never heard of the vole?
No, I know the vole. My cat just caught a vole the other day.
Bring your cat to my house because they tear up my lawn over the winter. You get that? Those little tracks through your grass?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Then we're out there raking and seeding. They like my rock wall.
Yeah. Yeah, the cat caught a vole a while back. She was proud.
I should sit out there with my thermals in winter. See if I can't just shoot him with a BB gun.
It seems like a poor use of your time.
Not if you can sit there with some beer.
Fair enough.
All right, Trent.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Do we have goals for tomorrow?
Yeah, you got any goals?
Well, first, I have one goal. I want all of us to put a grouse on the ground.
We need to put a grouse on the ground.
Only one of us.
Someone's got to shoot a bird.
I don't care if it's you, me,
You.
Dad.
Wait,
Someone's
hold on.
got-
Hold on. Now you're hunting tomorrow?
Maybe he'll punch one out of the air or something.
You gonna throw rocks?
Maybe.
Throw sticks.
Yeah.
Throw sticks?
We've had a woodcock that flushed that we could hit if we would have had like a tennis racket or something.
Oh, for sure.
In fact, one of them that bandit flushed, I took a swing at with my gun barrel because it flew so close to my head. So
We need to bring you a fishing net. Maybe you can catch one.
Fishing
yeah,
rod?
we need.
Rob.
It is like God, I feel like I'm down at home instead of the UP. It's like nothing but. It just sounds like 4-cylinder Civics just running around here. Fart cans and the whole shooting match.
Rip that cat off all nice and
Yeah.
raspy.
All right, so tomorrow we got to produce a dead bird.
Yes.
It's got to be a grouse, not a woodcock.
Can it be a woodcock or does it have to be a grouse? One of each?
Any kind.
Any kind of bird.
Any kind of bird.
All right.
Besides the turkey.
Well, I don't have a turkey license.
Sparrows?
No.
No sparrows.
What about eagles?
Eagles are good.
Yeah.
That tastes like loon. Kidding.
Someone's calling PETA right now.
I don't know what.
How do you know what a loon tastes like?
Don't know what eagle tastes like.
But hold on, let's I don't know about eagle, but we can figure out loon pretty quickly.
That was
Because loon eat fish, and I can tell you every single duck that eats fish tastes like crap.
It tastes like a McGann's, right?
Right, exactly. So even if loon was legal, no.
Sawbill.
Yeah,
Yum.
Snail.
Yeah,
Yeah, gross snail
I'm out.
for sure.
Eagle can't be much better.
No.
I mean, they eat roadkill and
Yeah,
fish and who knows
Hawks.
who knows what else.
still out.
Hawks.
Yeah, no. I like birds that eat greenery.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell, like, there's a big, like pheasant, you get that pinkish white meat. Grouse, you get that pinkish white meat. Like woodcock, you're starting to get into, but now woodcock's also a migratory species. So is
Right.
that why it's that more red meat like a duck, or you think it
It has to do with the makeup of the muscle fibers.
Makes sense.
How does that go? It comes down to like fast twitch and slow twitch muscles. I forget which is. I think a grouse has a fast twitch muscle,
All right.
and a woodcock has a slow twitch muscle, like a duck or a goose.
Welcome to Feather and Fur Biology. Your host Steve Schaefer.
Right. There's something I don't even know how I know this, honestly, but that's what distinguishes what is white meat and what is red meat, like the actual, like the muscle fiber
It makes sense.
and how much.
And it makes sense. I mean, you're talking migratory birds, which normally have a redder meat, versus non-migratory birds, which is that whiter meat,
Right. Basically,
which makes sense.
birds that are built for stamina rather than speed have red meat.
Sure.
Birds like the grouse or the pheasant that are just made for those short bursts of just
Right.
they're gone. Like that's white meat. Like chicken, the breast is real white because they don't really use their wings at all.
Right. But the reds are,
But
the legs
the
are darker
legs
meat.
are a little bit darker because they're constantly walking on them.
Makes sense.
There's some kind of connection between don't quote me on any of this. I don't know what the hell I'm
We're just sitting here. We're drunk at this point. No,
No, we're not drunk at this point. We'll be drunk later, maybe at a point, but
probably. Oh, for sure. That'll happen.
not yet though. But
No, we got to drive yet tonight. Like
Yeah.
we've been pretty mellow.
we've been pretty on our best behavior actually since we've got here.
I think that's because there's a young one with us.
Even the first night, usually the first
Trent,
night
you're
is,
slowing us down.
Yeah, even usually the first night is a bit
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, we've had some good first night experiences.
But
Like,
we didn't do that
no.
last night though. I mean, we had a couple beers. I sipped a little bit of scotch.
Yeah, we got some scotch.
I got
we
into
some
the
whiskey.
got into the single malt a little bit. But otherwise we've been on our best behavior, right?
Trying to give this guy a good impression.
Oh,
Once you turn 21, it's all over.
oh gosh, then good luck. Good luck.
We'll be pulling you out of bed as you're a puddle.
Mhm.
You're laughing.
Totally.
I've been that puddle before. That was a duck hunt opener, the northern opener.
That is, yes, I can confirm that.
I can't believe I wasn't puking over the side of the canoe as I was paddling.
I remember you going to breakfast and ordering
Bread.
white toast with no butter.
I did order pancakes to go.
You did, and you ate them later, and you were a trooper. You made it out there.
That was rough. It's a
Dude.
good thing that was back when it was a 9 a.m. opener. If that had been a normal
Yeah.
opener, I don't know.
It was the rum bucket that did you in.
Oh yeah.
The rum bucket that you were like, hey, we should buy this rum bucket. Good time.
Oh.
That was with Brad, me, and Uncle Chad. You know, Uncle Chad could drink like a wet fish. He was just, yep. But you beat us to the. Your problem was you beat us to the bar by a lot.
Yeah, because you took like the weirdest route ever. And, like
No,
you wound
what
up
is
going
you-
east instead of west.
You left before us, and you got there earlier than we did.
No, like you were supposed to be there an hour before you got there. There was something about construction. The road was closed because you went up through Green Bay.
That's just like
No, you went a
that's
different
just
route.
your opinion, man.
No, you went a different route.
At any rate, I didn't. Whatever, but that was a good weekend. That was
That was
fun.
a fun weekend.
That was fun. Then we stole those people's blind that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
And they got all mad at us.
We weren't even sitting in the blind. We weren't even sitting in the blind. We were like 50 yards from it.
I would have sat in the blind if I would have seen it. Here we are building a duck blind out of nothing when there's one that was already made 50 yards from us.
And we're all set up, and they walked up, and they were hot.
And all we shot was sawbills.
Right. There was like
We
wasn't
shot a
that
couple.
good.
We shot a couple Magansers, and that was it. It's not like we stole this honey hole of a spot where we were just whacking woodies and mallards and whatever else.
It looked like it had been good.
It did look.
And we went in the most backwards way.
I mean, we saw a lot of birds, but
And then you got Chad with the big soot. Like that was ruddy. I remember that was the weekend that we came up and he had just put them bigger tires on, and him and her out in the front. Him and her in the front with your dad's sawzall cutting away inner fenders, so they stopped rubbing.
they still rubbed after that. After we cut them all off, they still rubbed. I bet you those tires are still on that vehicle right now, and they probably still rub.
Probably.
That's Derek's now.
Is it?
No.
Awesome.
Yep, Derek's got the big diesel.
Yeah, buddy.
He doesn't have his license yet, but he's 15. Like he'll get it. He'll get it pretty soon, and
That'll fit him for sure.
that's his ride. Yep, Mini Chad.
That's all. He's been slamming the ducks this year, and the geese.
They've been shooting a lot of geese, a lot of doves. They did a lot of dove hunting this year, actually.
They've been on birds. I'll give them. They've been on birds.
Right, they did a lot of dove hunting. Yeah, he did. He's got a group of
He's got a crew. He's got a crew.
3-4 guys that go out, and I mean, I love it. I told my buddy Jason last weekend, I go, we gotta get Derek in the layout boat.
Oh yeah.
Like, we gotta get him up to Green Bay and like get him on
Yeah, for
divers
sure.
and, like get him a canvas bag or get him something like that. I think he'd
Bluebill, Golden Eye.
he'd probably
Should get him on the squaws. Knock that squaw off his list right away.
Squaws. Why? Fish in a barrel, man.
No challenge, he says.
No, apparently it is now. I haven't done it in quite a while, but apparently it is a challenge now.
Because it was too easy and everybody started doing it, so now they're smart.
Yeah, more or less. Everybody figured out. I mean, if you hunt squaws in Wisconsin, like you kind of know
how it works.
You know where to go. And everyone figured out where to go, and the guides knew where to go, and the guides, it's an easy payday if you're a guide.
Sure.
Take 3-4 guys out there and go shoot their 6 birds, and you're done by 10 a.m. and give me my $600.
Right.
For your guide day. But they only put up with that so long, and then they move down.
Keep moving down.
Yeah,
they migrate.
They move down to, Waukegan, or they move across the pond over to Lower Michigan, or sometimes they head north and they go up that way up in Door County, and they only put up with all that pressure for so long.
Sure.
And now it's not like it was. And from what I understand, when I was doing it, I was told it wasn't what it was.
And now it really isn't.
And now it really isn't what it was. When I started doing it, they were still dumb enough where you could take your hat off and you could go, hey, and you could flag them like geese. Apparently they're
a little smarter now.
I guess you can't do that anymore. And maybe in certain places,
certain times of the year you get the right new birds.
They don't congregate much in that one area anymore. I won't say where that area is because it's already seeing too much pressure. But if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you don't
I know because I know.
If you don't know, yeah, you know that because the way that it is.
Because the way it is. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right, Trent. So you want to see a bird tomorrow?
Yep.
We got to put a bird on the ground. He wants a bird in the hand. We'll put it in your game bag. He's going to get that bloodied up.
Yeah, you got to carry the weight around.
And
maybe we should start having him carry our shells so we don't have to carry them. Like we'll really lighten up our vests. What's that look for?
I mean, mine's getting a little bit lighter now, but
I'm surprised. Been up here now for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you've been the biggest trash talker in the Northwoods, and I've heard like nothing out of you.
You're a bit of a talker. He likes to chirp. He can chirp with the best of them.
He can. I'll give him that. He can chirp.
Yeah. He'll chirp you all day. Totally. But he's just taking it all in, I think.
That's awesome. It's awesome to have him here for his first girls' camp, carrying on traditions. You can see how you get to see the shenanigans now in person.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is what I've done for the last 12 years. When I left you and Mom and Anna, and I would go up to the Northwoods. This is not the podcast, but this is what this is what I would do. We would drink beer and whiskey and eat good food and
catch fish, try to shoot birds,
go walk around in the woods. And aside from all the Subarus that are driving by, this is a first.
This is a first. We picked rally weekend.
Oh my gosh. It's like every 5 minutes there's.
I know. I can't wait to listen back to see if I can hear them.
I can't imagine.
Probably not.
Probably wouldn't be able to, but.
Well, what do you want to see tomorrow?
Me?
No, you already answered. You want a bird in your hand? You.
Me?
Yeah, you.
What do I want to see? What do I want to see? I want to see my dog run for as long as she did today. I'm at that point with my dog. We're like just going out there and being able to hunt one more year. Because, we talked about that before where I've said the last 2 or 3 years, this has got to be your last year. And every year I come up and I'm like, maybe she's got one more year in her. And, she's a bit slower now. She's a bit more maybe methodical.
Methodical is a good thing in the girls' woods, so especially in wet conditions like we had today.
Mm-hmm.
But
she's easy to run birds over.
Yeah, she's not the ball of fire that she used to be. But she still ran. I can't ask much more out of a 13-year-old dog than what we got today. I mean, she did everything that we wanted her to. Even if she could have ran more this afternoon, the conditions were so bad. Like, she could have went more, but I didn't want to go anymore. I was wet.
Like soaking wet.
Everybody's wet.
If I turned the camera around, like you can kind of see a little bit of stuff hanging here. That wall over there is nothing but clothes hanging by the fire pit.
We've got nothing but clothes hanging all over this. Like,
there's clothes, there's guns broken down, drying. Like it is nothing but wet.
Chaps, pants, coats, vests, gloves on the furnace, boots by the furnace. There's boots on the dryer. There's gloves trying to. It's everywhere you look around this place. Like, there is.
I mean, it is really nice that they have so many hooks in here just for that.
And thank God, because if there was not there's literally, I don't even know how many nails and hooks are on these walls around here, but like,
and it's all for hanging
there's
stuff.
A lot.
For sure.
Which is great, because if we didn't have this, I don't even know what the hell we would do.
No, and I didn't bring a drying rack. In the camper, I have a drying rack.
Even if we had a drying rack, like, we're not putting 3 people's worth of stuff on a drying rack. We struggled
with 2 people's worth of stuff that one year.
So that's kind of like the nice thing about these cabins. Like, there's so many places to hang things, and it's so dry in here right now that everything is.
I know. Can you imagine if we didn't have this much wet stuff in here, how dry it would be?
Yeah, everything's.
But that's that really old school cabin. Like, you just have that with the furnace going right here and this small little wood space. I mean.
Yeah, this place is awesome. I mean, I couldn't have asked for like a cooler, like, grouse camp experience. Just like, super cool place. I definitely see us coming back here.
And it's always great to support like local business
doing this
up
again.
Here. And then they're friends of mine, so it's even better to support their business, support their endeavor.
Yeah, and like, I haven't met Jen, but like, Tim he's a super cool dude. Like, he was over here for a couple hours last night shooting the breeze with us, and like, just a super down to earth, cool,
right?
You know, great. I mean, great dude. You know, he's got a good little business going on up here.
Agreed.
You know, and it's kind of in the middle. I mean, you're in the UP. So as far as I'm concerned, once you get in the UP, you're in the middle of nowhere. But
it's a sweet little hunting cabin.
It is, and he's got 4? There's 4 cabins.
There's 4 or 5 motel rooms and 4 cabins.
Right. So
you got cabin 1, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah. And then there's got to be 2 through. So there's 4 motel rooms, 4 cabins.
Yeah, cool setup though. I mean,
and normally it's really quiet here, unless it's rally car weekend.
Right, and all that's here right now, like, pretty much everybody that's here right now is grouse hunters,
which is crazy.
Like, it's this weird, like, we pull up and like there's setters running around everywhere. There's
a Gordon out there.
Including mine. There's 4 English setters here. There's a Gordon setter.
Brittany.
There's a Brit.
My Griff. There's a GSP.
Your Griffon.
Griffon.
Yeah, GSP. What do those guys have over there? They had a setter, and what else?
I think that's a GSP.
GSP over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, everybody's grouse hunting, and like, everybody that we've talked to so far, like, they're all super cool. They're all super nice. Like, they're more than willing to come over and like, hey, where are you guys from? Like,
right.
You got a good looking dog, or, you know, whatever the case is.
Pippa did great with a setter, Pippa did great with that younger setter, which is awesome. That's a big stride for her. Like, that's my great, like, we moved birds today, which was awesome. We had a great day. Watching her play with a 2-year-old puppy, though, like with how she normally is around other dogs, was like super, like, maybe there's hope for me to bring another dog into my household.
Yeah, because we both need to think about that.
We do. We're both running older pups, and time's gonna come quicker than we want.
I know. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to replace these 2 at
some point.
No good. I hate.
And I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I want to do for another dog.
There's so many different breeds out there. Like I know people that love staying with the same breed. I get that. Like, I'm that. Like, I kind of feel that way, but at the same time, I'm like, we were talking the other day. I'm like, I might only have 4 dogs left in my life. Like, do I want to hunt over the same, like, or do I want to experience some different breeds?
I don't know. I same thing. Like, I love my setter. I mean, she's been great. I've gotten 13 years out of her. For me, doing very minimal training, she's been really good. But there's also a part of me that's like, what if I get a GSP?
Right.
What if I go away from the pointing breed, and what if I do a Springer? What if I do a, what if I go to a Brit? I don't know.
So many
I don't
dogs.
know.
I mean, I'm looking hard at a poodle pointer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm freaking out, man. I don't know what to do.
You don't know.
I overanalyze everything, and I'm like, I don't know. Luckily, I'm not.
I mean, a Brit's on my list also.
I'm not in the
Griff
market
is still on my
right
list.
now, so I've got time to kind of. But I'm also like, it bothers me when I'm in my mind where I'm like that indecisive,
That limbo.
because I want to settle on something so I can go, okay, like this is the direction that I'm going.
Right. That focus.
And right now I'm like, because I can't even make up my mind between a flusher and a pointer. Like I'm that messed up in my head right now where I'm like, I don't know, because I go back to Bandit and I go, with the lab, like the power lab, just terrassing around there in the bushes, and like,
I mean,
you always knew when Bandit hit the ground, like there was no stone left unturned. Like,
right. He did not miss a bird.
There was bird, he was finding it.
And having that strong retrieve drive was amazing.
Yeah, it's hunting dead and whatever else. Yeah, with the pointer, you get more range. You can let him
Go
cast.
work a little
You can
bit.
let
Let him breathe.
let them cast as far as you're comfortable, letting them go, especially if they're decent and they'll hold point,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know. My dog's like, you can't even hear me, and you're looking at me right now going, you're not even talking about replacing me right now, are you?
Mine is legit
Like-
passed out.
It's like she heard me and she's like,
Mine's over there dreaming
"You're
and
talking about
twitching.
me." Yeah, there you go. Head on my pillow, huh?
I'm excited for some dog work tomorrow. Watching the dogs work, that's my favorite part of all this, and it'll be good. I mean, I always enjoy these 4 to 5 days we have up here together. I'm excited Trent's here. Like, I'm really excited that you get to experience this.
I'd like to stretch it out a little bit longer again, because for a while we did 5 days,
Right.
or we'd come up on like would we come up on like a Wednesday night, or
I
we'd
think
come
so.
up on a Thursday night, we'd stay till Tuesday or something. So I don't know, but then I got to take you out of school for that many more days, and I don't know. We'll
different
assess
kind of education.
We'll
Different kind
assess
of
this
education.
year, see how this year goes.
Well, I'm really happy that I get to do this.
Dude, I'm glad you get to go. Look, I've been waiting for the right time where I'm like, I didn't want you to come up too early, because if you came up too early, you're walking through the woods and you're like, this sucks. I'm getting hit in the face with branches. I'm wet, cold. Said I gotta wait till he's
Perfect age.
right at that age where I'm like, okay, now he's ready. Now
And
you
now
can
you're-
go.
And this is your warm up
And now,
year
and now you're there. Now you can come.
because you're 11.
Yeah,
So this is your warm up year.
yeah.
So I think next year we'll put you through hunter safety. So actually, next year at this time, you could be out there carrying a gun.
And then you can be responsible for putting up your own bird in your own game bag. Maybe I won't even bring a gun. Maybe I'll put all the pressure on you, like you're putting all the pressure on me this year.
That's a silly talk. The more guns, the better. We can't shoot birds as it is.
This is true.
And one more gun,
I mean, eventually I'm going to buy a Saya 12 with a 20. Eventually I'm going to buy a Saya 12 with that 25 round magazine, so I can just put enough lead in the bear. Eventually something's going to fall.
as long as you're not shooting a woodcock. 3 shots.
This is
only.
true.
3
True.
shots only. Put that plug in.
I'll be strictly grouse hunting at that point. Grouse only.
Yeah.
I don't know of any rule. Is full auto legal? I'll have to look into that.
I don't think you can hunt with anything full auto.
Probably not. But that's about what it's going to take for me to get a limited grouse. It's probably going to take a full auto with a 25 meg and like 4 dogs on the ground.
You know, I'm not one to like, you know, judge my success on like limits.
No, not at all.
But I would at some point in my life like to shoot a 5-bird limit of grouse. Just so I could look back at it one day and go, yeah, I was fucking on that day. Oh, white
Hi.
dog's coming out.
Hi.
And white dog. What's up, you?
Remember?
Do you need me to move over?
You going to come join us?
Yeah, are you going to join us? She's like, okay.
You just wanted my beer, didn't you?
She's like,
You are such a twerp.
What are you doing here? Hi.
Well, we've got a new member.
A 4th to the live stream.
And a burr. We got a burr in there. All right. Well, at any hope,
All right.
hopefully tomorrow is going to be
Tomorrow's going to be good. The dogs are getting
a bit
antsy.
more successful. And now we've got the bear up again.
Yep, now Pippa's up. So probably about time to let them outside. And
Yeah, I think they got to pee.
this is fun. Doing a live from Grouse Camp this was a first.
Might have to do it every year now.
We just might.
I think so.
To everybody that tuned in tonight, as always appreciate you listening to my show. Wouldn't do it if you guys didn't. This will be up tomorrow for all the podcast listeners if you missed this live. And until next time, keep chasing that experience.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You can support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.